Good morning, class. Welcome to your English language live class. So we are doing transformation of sentences and we have reached the last part of transformation of sentences where we will be learning how to transform sentences based on structure. Okay, so there are three types of sentences based on structure: simple sentence, complex sentence, and compound sentences. Fine. So first, let us have a look at the definition of these three sentences. Although we have already done this, but just for the sake of revision, have a look. Okay, so simple sentence, a sentence which has one subject and only one finite verb in it is called a simple sentence. It is also an independent clause. Okay, a simple sentence is also an independent clause, a principal clause, because an independent clause or a principal clause is complete in itself. It stands on its own. If you remember the chapter clauses we did, right, two types of clauses. So this is it. Okay, then complex sentence. A sentence which has a main clause and at least one subordinate clause is called a complex sentence, and it is joined with the help of a subordinating conjunction. And the last is compound sentence. So a compound sentence is a sentence which is formed by joining two or more principal or main clauses connected by a coordinating conjunction. Okay, and you people already know what are coordinating conjunctions. They are 7 in numbers, right? And we memorize it with the acronym FANBOYS. And let me see who will tell me the 7 coordinating conjunctions. Yes, Sanvi.
Fan and nor, but, or, yet, and so.
Yes, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Correct. So these are what? These are three types of sentences. We categorize the sentence based on its structure into these three types. Okay, so now let us come to the rules of transforming sentences from simple to complex to compound. Okay, so rule number 1 is, if there is the word to in simple sentence, okay, infinitive is there, then when you convert it into complex, you'll be using so that in place of to. And if you are going to convert it into compound, then you will be using and or. Okay, so let us have a look at the example and you'll get an idea. We read to learn. Here to learn is what? Is an infinitive. Okay, so when there's an infinitive in a sentence, then we will use so that in order to change it into complex. So we read so that we can learn, right? So if you are asked to transform a simple sentence into a complex sentence, then you will be using this rule. If you are asked to transform simple sentence into compound sentence, okay, then you will skip this part and you have to remember that you have to use and or. We read and we learn. Here or is not required, here and is required, therefore we have used and. And is what? A coordinating conjunction, right? So we have formed a compound sentence over here. Okay, so I have included all the three types of sentences in one table only so that you people are able to connect. Fine. Understood rule number 1? Moving on to rule number 2. If there is in spite of or despite in simple sentence, then how are we going to change it into complex sentence? We'll be using though or although. Okay, and how are we going to change it into compound? By using but. So let us have a look at the example. Despite being poor, he is honest, right? So though he is poor, he is honest. He is poor, but he is honest, right? So we have transformed a simple sentence into complex sentence also, a simple sentence into compound sentence also, right? So in your exam, it is not necessary that you will be given a simple sentence only to transform into complex and compound. You might be given complex sentence also. Suppose I would give you this sentence and I'll ask you to convert it into simple. Then you must know the rule backwards also. Okay, so all the three things you should know. And suppose if in exams you people are asked to change a compound sentence into a complex sentence, then you should know the rules between these two types of sentences as well. Are you getting my point? So it is not one way. Okay. Simple to complex to compound. Sometimes complex to compound can be asked. Sometimes compound to simple can be asked. So you should have all the three things in your mind. Next is if there is ing form of verb in simple sentence, like being punished, he wept. Then for changing it into complex, we can use since or as. So as he was punished, he wept. Since he was punished, he wept. Okay. And for compound sentence, we can use and so, or only so will also do. Like he was punished and so he wept. He was punished, so he wept. So both the sentences will be correct. The only thing which you have to focus on is that if there is a simple sentence, you won't find any in any dependent clause in a simple sentence, right? So you have to add a dependent clause in a complex sentence if you are changing a simple sentence into complex sentence, and if you are changing a simple sentence into compound sentence, then you'll have to make sure that both the clauses are independent clause. Like here, he was punished is an independent clause. He wept is also an independent clause, right? As he was punished is a dependent clause. He wept is an independent clause. So that also you have to keep in mind that you have to have these two types of clauses in a sentence. And when you are asked to change a complex sentence into simple sentence, then you will have to reduce that sentence into one independent clause. Okay. Then rule number 4, if there is enough or to, right? Adverb to is there in the simple sentence. He is too weak to work or he is weak enough to work. Then how are we going to change it into complex? You already know the rule of removing to, right? So the same rule will apply over here. He is so weak that he cannot walk. We have done this already, right? Then for changing this type of sentence into compound, you will be using very and. He is very weak and he cannot walk. So one word which you have to add instead of so and to is very. Okay, and is a conjunction, so it will be there naturally. Understood? Next, see if the word without is there. Without reading you will fail, or you will fail without reading. So for changing it into complex sentence, you'll be using if. Okay, if you do not read you will fail. And for changing it into compound sentence, you will be using or. Read or you will fail. So there's a condition, right? In a simple sentence, how do you express a condition? By using the word without. That if you without doing this, you cannot achieve a certain result. That is a condition. And how do you express a condition in a complex sentence? With the use of word if, conditional sentences, right? And how do you express a condition in a compound sentence? With the use of or, the conjunction or. Okay, so with you will fail without reading. If you do not read, you fail. Read or you will fail. All right, so in simple sentence, if you know the simple sentence is talking about time, so how do you convert it into complex? What is the word which denotes time in complex sentence, in a coordinate, in subordinating conjunction? It is when. Okay, the conjunction which denotes time is when, right? So he woke up at the time of raining, at the time of rain. Okay, he woke up when it was raining. It was raining and he woke up. So here compound sentence, for compound sentence we will be using simple and. In a sentence, okay, then you have to change that adjective into adjective clause. You've already done clauses and you know what are adjective clause. Like, for example, it was a red ball. Okay, so how are you going to write it into a complex sentence? So in complex sentence, the adjective is replaced with adjective clause. Please make a note of it. Okay, so it was a ball which was red. It was a ball that was red. Okay, the boy in red shirt is my brother. How are we going to write this sentence into a complex sentence? How would you transform? The boy in red shirt is my brother. First of all, tell me the adjective in the sentence which I've just spoken, and then you will tell me the complex sentence for that. Okay, yes, Manjari, Manjari, you have to keep your video on. Yes.
Ma'am, what was the sentence?
Wait, let me type it out, then you will be able to understand. A boy in red shirt, my brother. What is the adjective over here, Manjari?
Red.
Yes, the word red is adjective over here, right? So you have to replace the adjective with an adjective clause. How will you replace?
The
Try.
the boy is my brother who is in red shirt.
No, why do you want to shuffle the words? You can use the adjective clause right after the boy only.
The boy which is in red shirt is my brother.
Which? We do not use the word which for human beings.
Red shirt.
Huh?
The boy who is in red shirt is my brother.
Yes, the boy who is in red shirt is my brother. Okay, the boy who is in red shirt is my brother. Fine. So see, now we have added a subordinate clause over here. Who is in red shirt? Okay, which was earlier missing in a simple sentence. So this is what? This is a complex sentence. Okay. Is this clear? So we replace an adjective with an adjective clause, right? And what can we use in order to change it into compound sentence? We can simply use and. It was a ball and it was red. Fine. Now we'll move on to rule number 8, and we will see how we convert a simple sentence, how we transform a simple sentence into a complex sentence by substituting a prepositional phrase with a clause. Let us have a look at the example. He is a man of simple habits. So of simple habits is our prepositional phrase over here. If you can see, instead of simple habits, we will use a clause. Okay, so let us have a look at the complex sentence. He is a man who possesses simple habits. So who possesses simple habits becomes our clause, and there are two finite verbs as you can see. Therefore, this becomes a complex sentence beginning with a subordinating, having two finite verbs and a main clause and a subordinate clause. Therefore, this is a complex sentence. Another example says, no one can foretell the time of his death. No one can tell when he will die. So when he will die is a subordinate clause, and no one can tell is your main clause. So since this sentence has a main clause and a subordinate clause, therefore it is a complex sentence. Next rule says, by substituting same rule, but how we transform a simple sentence into a compound sentence by substituting a prepositional phrase with a clause. Besides helping me with advice, he lent me some money also. So this can be written like this. He not only helped me with advice, but lent me some money also. Okay, so this is a compound sentence because there is a coordinate conjunction over here. So this is what? This is all about transformation of a simple sentence into a complex and compound sentence by substituting a prepositional phrase with a clause. And now I will be asking questions based on these 7 rules. Okay. If you people have understood, let me see how many of you can answer. I'll be typing out the questions. So your first sentence is, we exercise to be fit. Now you have to change this sentence into complex. Yes, Aditi.
Ma'am, we exercise so that we can stay fit.
I'll come again, your voice cracked.
Ma'am, we exercise so that we can stay fit.
Yes, correct. Absolutely correct. We exercise so that we can be fit. Okay. Next sentence is, the people of India fought save the country. For this, you have to change it into compound sentence. Change this sentence into compound. Yes, Juveria?
The people of India fought and saved the country.
Very good. Absolutely correct. The people of India fought and saved the country. Keep on noting down these sentences. Next, I will type it out for you. Man eat so that they can live. Change this into simple sentence. Yes, Divyanshi.
Man eat to live.
Correct. Man eats to live. Will be eats. And so have you people understood this? This exercise was based on rule 1, which we did today. We'll move on to the next exercise. Next set of question, I mean. In spite of his poverty, no. In spite of his unemployment, he helps he feeds the poor. Change this sentence into complex. Anyone who has not answered so far? Yes, Badia?
Although he is unemployed, he feeds the poor.
Correct. Although he is unemployed, he feeds the poor. Or though he is unemployed, he feeds the poor. Next. He is ill, but he can run fast. Now this you have to change into simple. Sanvi?
Despite being ill, he can run fast.
Very good. Despite being ill, he can run fast. There's one more way of writing the sentence. Anyone? Humanyu?
Despite of being ill, he can run fast.
No, despite of. Despite being ill was correct. Yes,
In spite
Priyansh.
of being.
Yes, in spite of. Okay,
Of being.
correct. Next question. Since the water was very hot, I could not drink it. You have to change this sentence into simple. Yes, Yashi?
I could not drink the water as it was very hot.
You have to change this into simple. As it was very hot, so will become compound sentence, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So simple. You have to remove the conjunction.
The water was very hot. I couldn't drink it.
No. Divyanshi? Yes.
The water being hot, I could not drink it.
Very good. Water being very hot, I could not drink it. Don't remove the word very. Right? Okay. Next sentence. Closing the door, he went back to work. Yes, Shubh? You have to change this sentence into compound.
Yes, ma'am. He went to work and closed the door.
Which action would take place first? You tell me. Close the door, no? You'll close the door and then you'll go somewhere. If you are going out of your house, you'll close the door and then you'll go. So he closed the door and went back to work. Fine? So like that you have to do. Now I'm giving you some homework which you people have to note and then we will discuss tomorrow.